Welcome, everybody. This is Loud and Proud Orlando. We are back. It's Tuesday, July the 5th, 8:38 p.m. Thank you so much to everybody that's online right now, live with us. And also, we have a lot to talk about. Some good, some bad. Obviously, I think after yesterday, for sure, a lot of things to improve. A win against Nashville by a hair. No, a penalty shootout. Pedro Galese again being probably top 5 keeper in the MLS, probably if not the best keeper in the MLS. Somebody that we definitely need in the roster. Whether people see Mason and Adam as possible replacements, I think Galese right now, after the penalty shootout from against Nashville, I think he's irreplaceable, guys. I mean, the saves he did, it could have been worse for Orlando. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk the Pride also. The Pride went to Daytona. They did a tie. They started losing. They came back strong. And rumors circling around Joao Moutinho possibly leaving the club. Also, players may be coming in around the league. Our biggest contender right now, the one that we face next, Inter Miami, just did a huge signing. That it's a very exciting signing. I think is going to be a very good complement to Leonardo Campana, their number 9. So we'll talk about that and more. Dave, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm wearing a shirt from the East Terrace Club. My friends over there in Stevenage that sent me this beautiful T-shirt. So thank you guys. Specialty that they have is you can send them a jersey from your favorite team, and they will transform that into a bucket hat. So those of you guys that have seen me with my Stevenage bucket hat, well, that actually was a shirt or a jersey to begin with. Couple of shout outs. I would like to thank my friend Callum Jackson and his girlfriend Holly, who came from Stevenage. Originally, we were meant to watch the Houston game. Of course, when I got sick, they went. They enjoyed the atmosphere. We were able to watch the game on Wednesday. Their opinion of American football was a high one. Obviously, of Orlando as a whole, they really loved it. So I want to thank the guys for all the gifts that they brought me, and awesome. So thank you very much, guys. I hope that you guys got home okay. Also, I sent you the picture, Luis, the one holding the picture. If you can post that, because this is related to Orlando City in a way. So I would like to thank Carl, the Stevenage support liaison officer, who the club did a good one for us, for me. They sent me a picture signed by my favorite player, Elliot List. He's a striker at Stevenage, and as you can see, it says David, thanks for the support, and he's holding an Orlando City scarf, completely unexpected. And that to me means a lot. That they always see me as one of the guys, even though I live in the United States. I always purchasing my kit. That's my new kit. It's purple for this year for the away kit. I would love to say that is because of me, but I don't know. So thank you very much, Carl. Super appreciated. And this opens the discussion. Orlando City right now is in talks, is in interviewing to have our first fan or supporter liaison here. That if you're a club, you have one. Plain and simple. This person is going to be dealing with all our issues as a fan base, issues between supporter groups, independents or non-affiliated fans. It's going to be helping out on away days when the fans go there. That person is also going to be coordinating when we have away fans coming here. Instead of like we do now, where we tweet or we email everybody and their mother at the club, we're going to have somebody looking out for our interest. So right now, they're in the second stage, and the person that is in the lead is somebody that I personally feel that is going to be great in that role. So be on the lookout for that. It's going to be a club employees. It's not going to be somebody doing it part time or somebody doing an altruistic position. It's somebody that is going to be on payroll. And our U17s, unfortunately, were not able to defend their championship this year. They fell in PKs in the semis. My love and my respect to the U17s. If you follow my vlog, The Legendary David, you see that I went to see one of the games this year. They look fantastic. And football is like that, cruel and unpredictable. So we're very proud of the U17s. I'm sure that they're going to be producing a lot of players in the future. And the U20 tournament, the United States, my friends, it has crowned itself champions, and they're going to be in the Olympics. And that is fantastic. We have returned to the Olympics. We have not been there almost in 20 years. Congratulations to the Dominican Republic, who are also going to be in the Olympics. And all the players, basically every single country represented, had a good representation of MLS and USL academies or teams in their rosters. So our leagues can feel very proud about that. And the latest, Joao Moutinho. Joao Moutinho, my friends, is rumored to be leaving Orlando City. Several channels have said that this is going to be a reality. Obviously, the team has not said anything official. So, with that said, with all that long-winded introduction, I give the microphone to our good friend Paola.
How I can follow that, David. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Great to be back. It's not a Monday, it's just a Tuesday. It feels weird, but we're here. And I have a lot of to talk about, so let's keep moving. How about that,
Yeah,
Luis?
yeah, sure, definitely. Let's start with Nashville. Honestly, I mean, there's a lot to talk about this game that actually intertwines with what happened against DC. Um, Obviously, you wanna, the trick on this game was to dominate the mid, and I feel like, I mean, this is how Orlando lined up. They knew that trying to cancel or trying to, double guard Mauricio Pereira was gonna affect the whole mid for Orlando City, and I think, that's what occurred. Nashville started pressuring very, very high, a high intensity. Orlando was actually, the back line actually was delivering, and I was just very surprised at some of the decisions that the coach of Nashville made. Taking out Hani Mukhtar, your best player, goal scorer, and trying to park the bus. And I think that bit him in the ass, in my opinion. Orlando was able to win and go to penalties, and penalties are a gamble. They're like a Russian roulette. And we have, Panico is a great keeper. I mean, I think he demonstrated he was a great keeper on this game for sure. He's demonstrated that he's a great keeper. This last game against the Nashville he had a great save. I think save of the week, in my opinion. Uh, but we have Pedro Galese, and those are the advantages. And I think we have a huge advantage when we go into the penalty kicks, having players that honestly their ratio of missing penalties are very, very low. Like Alexandre Pato, you have Pedro Galese knowing how to take care of those PKs, and I think that's the reason why we won. Obviously, Rodrigo Schlegel coming in the historic times. I think he cemented his legacy in this club already. Maybe not to the degree of being a heavy hitter as a player, but definitely being a player that gives you those type of moments, those last minute saves, those last minute strikes, and the whole, I was there, and the whole Explorer Stadium went off. And like, I mean, we were kind of like, ready to throw in the towel, as they say. But this team never gave up, right? They never gave up, and they showed the same resilience as they did in DC. The difference is our in this game, our defense was 7 out of 10. And in this against DC, our defense was maybe a 3 out of 10. It was pretty much like an open door. Quoting Frozen, love is an open door. So obviously, that's how our defense was. It was complete open door. I think, I don't know if I would ever put again a line of three right there in the back again. I think we should go back to our line of four in the back. And I mean, they went off, and they have exciting players like Roberta, right? And that fifth goal, I saw glimpses of Daryl Dike. Nobody could catch him. And unfortunately, this is a team that we should have definitely defeated. But again, guys, and I've read, and we will definitely talk about what was said on Facebook and things like that, and you guys' opinion. Leave your comments. But I think our eyes should be on this. Our eyes should be on the U.S. Open Cup. I think we have a huge chance to get this, and I think this should be our number one goal right now. It's the most attainable target at the moment. It's going to be tough because we're facing a team we have not beaten but this should be the go-to, right? I'm not saying, I mean, think about it. Do you prefer to go to playoffs? I mean, we can go to playoffs and we can go to the US Open Cup. We just have to win the next game, right? And so, but we have a chance for this team that has been, this group for Oscar Pareja has been in the club for over 2 years, you know, possibly either stay or look for something else, delivering silverware to the city of Orlando, the first major title in history of any sport. So you're talking about no Orlando team has ever won nothing, not even an amateur cup. Well, Orlando did USL, but that's it. That's all Orlando has. Oh, and Eastern Conference Finals in 2009, and then in 1990, 94, 92, I think. So that's it. That's it. So I think we should aim for this. I think this should be our priority. We should have our A squad on this. We should have be more conservative. When we're attacking in transition, no one is. I think they're attacking transition. They forget to get, in this game against DC, they forgot to run back, and they forgot to attack in a block, and then defend on a block. And that's how I felt. So we'll discuss this some more. What are your thoughts, Paola, regarding this game against Nashville that we actually won by a hair?
We got lucky. Let's say that. We got lucky by the Nashville coach decisions. Um, they were it like, well, like I said to my fiance, like, I want to see blood. We saw blood that day. Um, Missing shots in the first couple of minutes. Urso could have had score that goal. I don't know what happened. Probably he felt the pressure and he missed. But going forward, I do not understand how that ball from Mukhtar went in, but it went in. The reality. Um, they were looking, some of the defense, they were looking, and Galese thought that it was not gonna go in, and it went in slowly and painfully because I saw it like in slow motion. Um, and then they were like, "Oh, ha ha, we won this, blah blah blah. Let's go and sit down." And Rodrigo Slego saved us. Um, I I got water all over me because people was jumping around and I was behind the Orlando bench. By the way, it was an experience, uh, like one of the best experience that I have been in a game. I heard, you can see, like, if you're a super fan behind the bench, you will see all the tactics from the coaches and what is the movement. I was paying attention to that. Um, but at the end of the day, we're missing that attacking piece because we could score on the after that 30 minutes of extra time. We should had score and we did not. Thankfully, we went to the penalties and we won. So we're just missing that attacking piece. Um, I think for us, our wake up call was from Cincinnati game the week prior. We rested Pereira. He came in, and now we move on to DC. But I'm not saying anything as of yet. But it was a great experience. I got water all over, so let's see how it goes. I just want them to win. Red Bulls is gonna be a tough game. We're gonna see blood as again, and we cannot wait until the last minute like Rodrigo did. Thank God for Rodrigo, but we cannot miss any opportunity with them. That's what I have to say.
Sure. Honestly, this is I want to give a shout out to 1A1 Creative. This is our photographer, Mr. Raymond, George Raymond. He's been helping us out with all the pictures. This is a picture of Galese's save in the penalty shootout. And I mean, there's really nothing more. I mean, I think or Mauricio Pereira in this game, he was very important against Nashville, but they DC did a great way of showing him the door when they play. They know that that's our Achilles heel, we have our number 10 is very important in the whole piece for Orlando. They take away our 10, and it seemed that the team wasn't sinking from the attacking third all the way through the back line. I mean, nothing was sinking. But if you talk about Nashville, Orlando had a lot of chances. They had a lot of good chances. It was a game that Orlando had to do anything in their power to score and to get this W, and they did, right? It was a reivindication for Galese because of the Peru didn't go to the World Cup, for sure. And also, again, this is Facundo Torres also being very good. It's been 2 back-to-back games. He's delivering quality football, in my opinion. He's been a difference maker. When he came in against DC, the team came alive in the attacking third. So I don't know. What are your thoughts, Dave, regarding this Nashville game? I just think that we need to take that attitude that we had against them, because this is definitely a contender, and take it against the Red Bulls. That it's going to be one of the toughest games we're going to face this year, for sure. What are your thoughts?
Well, first of all, I would like to throw a shout out to my Twitter friend Denzel. He's a Nashville fan. He watched our last episode. It was very complimentary of us, the way we approach the analysis, because our podcast obviously is not rah, we're the best. It's 3 people that love football. They know what they're talking about. If I can, beat our chest for a little bit. And, his words meant a lot to me. So if Denzel, you are watching us again, thank you very much for the compliment. I take it to heart that fans from other teams, give us that type of compliments. Friends, what we said in the last episode, it's recorded. You can go and watch it. We said Sigi Sapong and Hani Mukhtar were going to be deadly. That's exactly what happened. We survived the first half, 52nd minute. Hani Mukhtar scores, and Paola was alluding to how did that goal happen, because live I couldn't understand what happened. Just like she said, I just painfully saw it going into the back of the net. And basically what it was is Hani pushes a little bit on Rodrigo, who's losing his balance, and basically the ball bounces off Rodrigo and just goes in. How wasn't that an own goal? Don't ask me. I don't claim to know everything about football. Now, one of the things that I told the guys before we started recording, Gary Smith was the manager of my English club, Stevenage. And of course, I was with friends from Stevenage at the game. And I turned to my friend Colin and I said, hey, how come Gary Smith was fired from Stevenage? Which, by the way, his assistant, Steve Guppy, is a legend at Stevenage. 27 appearances, 1 goal. Played for them in 2006 and 7 after coming back to England from DC United. And he said, well, the truth is that sometimes he makes decisions that cost you games. He makes boneheaded decisions. He basically pulls the trigger too soon. Excuse me. And what happens? Prophetic words. On the 79th minute, McCarthy and Mukhtar are taken off. Leal was taken way before that. Leal was super dangerous all game. Sigi Sapong on the 87th minute. And what happens? What happens is what had to happen. We earn a free kick. And to everybody that left early, we keep telling you, you never leave early. You never leave early. Because you know what happens when you leave and you hear the roar of the crowd? They're not going to let you back in. Just remember that. They're not going to let you back in. Because I know some people in security that told me they turned back 40 people at least on the sea gate. They left, and guess what happened? Anyhow, so Rodrigo Schlegel, if you look at that was just a moment of brilliance, cool and collected. Why I like Rodrigo Schlegel so much is because he has been an agent of never say never. A guy that we signed from Racing, a throwaway player in that organization that they felt, hey, this guy's good, but not good enough for here. and he has come here and has placed himself in the pantheon of legends for this club. This listen, Rodrigo Schlegel will never have to buy beer in this town. Never will have to. He will
Sure.
always remember as a
Yeah,
great.
for sure.
In um, when that happened, when the goal goes in, game on, right? Game on because now Nashville has basically thrown all their attacking pieces, the success that was gonna put us away. Because we friends, when that goal went in, we were 2 minutes away from the ref calling game. So the Nashville fans can say, "Hey, I feel that the ref, really gave you the game." Can we say the same about last year? Maybe. So it can be a good thing last year and a bad thing this year. Football is football, and the foul was well earned. And I'm not gonna waste time explaining to people that should know football why it was.
Oh
So
no, of course. I mean that was a well-earned foul. I mean,
it was well earned.
whoever is
Absolutely,
saying that, I mean, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, that was a
no,
well-earned foul.
absolutely, Luis. And
Absolutely.
I'll keep it short because I don't want to monopolize the conversation on this. So finally, we go into extra time, and this is the point. Like I was telling the guys before we started recording, that we need to go back to our first fans. Listen, I'm just like all of you. I went to the guys of OC Fan TV, grabbed the microphone, scream on the microphone. Paola's fiance did the same thing, chest beating, about to rip his shirt off. I get it. I was like that. I was like that. Like I said, I was like that too. But like I was talking to Luis and Paola, and we all agree. We had basically 30 minutes against 10 men because obviously Nashville earned double yellow,
Red card,
red card
yeah.
after that, and we
Don
couldn't
Davis.
put the game away. So we had to go back to all reliable, the PKs. We're very good at it. Nashville isn't. So we won. Football is a pound of talent. I'm sorry. Football is a pound of talent and an ounce of luck. So we won the game. Now, what's going to happen against Red Bulls? And with this, with this I conclude. What's going to happen against Red Bulls? Red Bulls is a different beast. Red Bulls is first in the East. They got our number. They are an attacking team that likes to utilize the counter attack to break you defensively. We're gonna be facing these guys Wednesday, July 27th at 7:30 at home. So please be there. I keep begging you guys, please be there. I trust me. The following day, I had no voice. I had 2 meetings. I had no voice. I was super tired. But my boys needed me, and I was there saying, "Here I am." And it's gonna be interesting, guys, because we're gonna have a game against Philadelphia at home the Saturday before, and if we win, hopefully, God willing, on the 31st we are at DC away on that Sunday. Meanwhile, Red Bulls is gonna be on the 24th, a day after our game, away at Austin, a game that they can simply throw away because they are in a good playoff position. And after that, they're going to be playing on August 2nd at Colorado. So the advantage and disadvantages are there for both teams. I personally think it's going to be another. Let's go to the PKs. I just don't, guys, and I would like to know hear your opinion about this. Our attack is non-existent, and Nashville's arrogance. Gary Smith is the person to blame on that one. Their arrogance is what did them in. I don't think Red Bulls, after seeing this game, they're gonna make the same mistake.
No, I mean, what Rebels, and I'm gonna give the mic to Paul. In my opinion, what Rebels is gonna do is they're gonna try to score the first 50 minutes of the game. I mean, and that's what Orlando has done the last 3 games. I mean, except Nashville, but I mean, this last game. I mean, the first 10 minutes of that game, it was like 2-0. We can go through that. I don't know if it was, a mental fart. Mental breakdown. I don't know what happened. I mean, but I've never seen. I mean, it was pretty much saying, "Come on, guys, attack, please, and score on me." That's exactly what in my opinion. That's what I saw. I mean, it was just like I don't know what I'm doing. come and score, right? I mean, sorry to be sarcastic, but I mean that's how I felt. We cannot do that against a team that is so dynamic like the New York Rebels. We just can't do it. We gotta go and have a conservative approach to football. And I know we're playing in our stadium, with our fans. And another thing I want to give a shout out is to the fans. Against Nashville, they were the 12th man for sure. In that penalty shootout, I asked Rodrigo, what are your thoughts on the crowd? Like, the crowd needs to keep doing this. They help us out tremendously, because without them, if it would have been like 2019 or 2020, right, pandemic era, this would have been dead silence. It would have definitely taken an effect. But the wall was roaring every single, to the opposing team. That needs to happen all the time. We need to make the people that are not from Orlando fear coming into our stadium, right, in a way. And I'm delighted to hear that. But unfortunately, 16,000 people were in that game on 4th of July. Again, another good crowd that showed up in a game that probably was in a weird day. People were going to be with family, like myself, and couldn't obviously go to the game. 16,000 people. And this is not, in my opinion, especially it was 4th of July against a team that it was like dead last in the East almost. Those are things that we need to definitely take a look at and do not commit those mistakes ever again. The turnover rate for Orlando City on that game was tremendously bad. It was bad the first half of Nashville's. It became worse against DC, in my opinion. So that cannot happen against such a dynamic team like New York Red Bulls, because they're gonna be victorious if that's the case. I mean, I don't want to be a party pooper, and I'm not trying to say that no, I want Orlando to win wholeheartedly. I keep repeating it. I'm saying that Orlando has a huge chance to win a championship, major championship, and with the league, an important title, right? This is what we want. This is the legacy of these players that have been stuck in Orlando for over 2 years. So, it is important for them, and I want to see a different type of attitude coming up. Let's read some comments from everybody before we go to Paola. Let's see. Ahmed Salim, it says, I really hope this last game was a wake-up call for the team. If you look at the last 3 games, we cannot play that way against the Red Bulls. Yeah, they will definitely clobber us wholeheartedly. Victor Rivera, Red Bulls has the pressure game and also a bunch of floppers. The guys need to make sure they know what to expect, as it will be their downfall if they don't do that, right? Victor Rivera says it was a great experience sitting by the players' bench, especially during the PK. That's awesome. Colin Garby says, I think Mukhtar actually wrapped his leg around Schlegel and poked it in. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, you're right on that. Victor Rivera says, yeah, it was an experience being by the players. Felix Quijano, a ver, this is for us. Is Pareja on the hot seat? I mean, I believe if we don't win anything this year and we don't make the playoffs, I mean, unfortunately, soccer teaches you there has to be changes made. Now, it depends a lot of the front office what they're going to do. I believe Pareja has contributed a lot to this club, probably more than any other coach that has ever coached. More, I will say, more than Inchi. And I know people are going to crucify me for it, but I think he has contributed more than Inchi. Inchi did it in the USL. His record in Orlando in the USL, in the MLS, is completely different. In the MLS, unfortunately, Inchi did not, the front office didn't want to see him there, and
there's a lot of people like Paola that have no attachment to Inchi because
right.
he was gone. And I don't mean to jump in front of Paola, but I just want to 2 seconds on this. Is the seat hot? Yes, that's what I was told by sources, that the Wills are people. They feel they invested $22 million on the club. They want results, and I gotta tell you this. When we play Red Bulls, the players are going to be playing for the manager, for their manager's job. They're going to be, obviously, trophy, the club, all that glory. but they love Oscar Pareja. Oscar Pareja has not lost the locker room. Those guys will live and die for Oscar Pareja, and they are going to go to war to make sure that he's the manager in 2023. That I know from good sources. Paola and Luis are privy of who that person is. So, as I always told you, I don't talk for talking. I don't make things up, and I don't talk from my rear end. So that's pretty much it. Then I guess Paola, you can throw your 2 cents on that.
Let's say that the team yesterday had a victory hangover. Let's say it like that from Wednesday. They were sleeping. Um, Next time I'm gonna buy them energy drinks or something because they were sleeping in the first 10 minutes, not in the
Yeah,
first 45 minutes. Let's say, um, they were not moving defensively. I don't know what happened. I don't have any like victory hangover. Let's say it like that. Victory hangover from Wednesday. Um, Mendes had the shot of starting this game and he didn't move. He was not helping Urso at one point. I was like, are he's gonna move? He's not gonna move. They were all sleeping. Let's put it like that. Next time I'm gonna buy them energy drinks. So if the team permits me, I'm gonna just pass by and send them that. You can, well, if you see the highlights after the half time when Facu and Araujo went in, the game changed completely.
yeah, definitely.
Completely.
Completely.
And Facu, when he got in, 9 minutes took him to get an assist and a goal. And that speaks a lot. For those who didn't believe on this guy, if yesterday didn't shut you up, you have a problem. That's it. He has his heart in the right place to win that trophy. And Araujo too. Araujo like moved from end to the back. He was the only one defensively that I could see around. I don't want to see that formation again. The three, four,
The
two,
three,
one. Horrible. You have to dominate. If you
the,
want yesterday was an experience. I think like
well,
experiment technically. Oh, go ahead, Luis.
no, 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 definitely. I think the reason why it didn't work, I mean, and in my opinion, is because, and again, this is not for me to criticize any other players. I'm just saying it as a for tactics. All right, I'm gonna
Mhm.
go ahead and just show this real quick before after I read Jim D's comment. So, in order for you to play like Chelsea, because this is the Chelsea system, three out back. But who were the three out back for Chelsea, right? You have Rudiger. Now he's in Real Madrid. Now we have Robin Jensen and we have Rodrigo Schlegel. Okay, now these are players that are part of the Orlando system, but Kyle Smith, in my opinion, I see him more as a left back, not as a third center back. Yeah, he could play a right back too. Now he has played the center back position, but more where Robin Jensen is. So again, and then who do they have on the other side? The wingers. So Michael Estrada, instead of going right up top, maybe as a second striker, he played the wing. He's a very dynamic, fast player, Ecuadorian national team, nothing to be taken very lightly. He's played Copa Libertadores. He's a player that maybe has a little bit more experience than Jake Mulroney and Kyle Smith put together. That's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to knock anything regarding the players, but this is what I'm saying. And then you have Christopher Durking, which, again, he was probably one of the weakest links there. And then they had a true six right there in the middle, which was Skundrick, and he will go in the attack. And with Michael Estrada, they started associating each other through that right side. And because of that, they kept winning our back lines. They were going further than the back line. So the back line will start retracting, they will be advancing. And then because they were fast, and faster, I will say, than our back line. They totally on the 1v1 they destroyed us, and then it was our demise right there. 2 goals in less than 15 minutes. I mean that spoke volumes right there. One positive is that the team came back, right? I mean, yes, but the fifth goal was the same thing. So the fifth goal should have not occurred, right? And why did it occur? Because the backline was not communicating. In my opinion, we need to keep it classic, keep it classy, keep what's working right now. And unfortunately, I know maybe we want to give some players a break. Maybe we want to put, Perea, and we want to put, at some point we used to put Vanderwater, and we want to put Benji. But we need to honestly now, moving forward, we need to definitely, especially for the U.S. Open Cup, we need to put the ones that are working, and because the experiment did not work. 5-3 was the result, right? What are your thoughts there, Dave?
Well, about the day, about the game itself. I think just like Paula had said. Actually, before I say, so we can finish out the comments, Luis, real quick.
All right, let me go ahead and finish the comments. So it says here, Jim D. And that is what I chose to do on my 4th of July. I got to see no wind, no fireworks, just a light show from my 1980s middle school roller skating rink. All right, Marco Antonio, un saludo, mi lord, dice, un saludo a Marco Antonio, del lado del fútbol, un abrazo. Milton Boas, I love this show, Purple Hearts. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. David Hunt, are we happy with Pato's recent performances?
Well, I'll tell you what. I will start with this, and then the guys can take over before I give you my vision of DC. Pato has been an enigmatic player, right? Super talented individual, great name recognition throughout the world. He comes on what you could consider a cheap contract. He scored a penalty against DC. He scored a penalty against Nashville. And hey, listen, beautiful. But let's not forget, he had the opportunity to get us level in Nashville. And in my opinion, he crapped the bed there. Game against Nashville, same situation. Game against DC, same situation. I'm in a mood right now where I want to win, and as I progress, I'm gonna give you guys our nightmare scenario. Right now, I want to win, and I want people that want to win, and I want people that want to contribute. Having Pato on the club, yeah, it gives us name recognition. Brazilian media comes, they interview him at the training grounds. We probably sell shirts, blah 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 blah. But when he matters, 90 minutes, right there in the 120 yards by 75 yards of the pitch. My friends, that's where our focus should be. Personally, I think it's time to move on. Next year, I just don't see Pato, a player of his stature. I just don't see the stats to back why he should be here. And besides, we already have. He did us a favor by staying under his his original contract. But a player of his stature is not going to play for that little amount of money next year.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Look, personally, I think Pato was a great signing. I mean, it was a gamble that Pareja took under his wing, and just like he did with Nani when he first came from Europe, he revitalized Pato's career, and that's what he has done with Alexandre Pato. Alexandre Pato is not a player that's gonna, unfortunately. I mean, he could play 90 minutes, but you have to make sure against what specific opponent he's going to do that, right? You cannot just have him play back-to-back games 90 minutes. He's a player that is, unfortunately, through his history, injury prone, and we don't want to lose a player of that caliber, that decision maker player. You see how he executed the penalties? I mean, it was fantastic, right? It was like I was watching like a game from South America. I mean, cool, calm, collective. No fear in his eyes, right? And those are the type of players that you want. The whole problem that I see, and this is DC United, I'm talking particularly with DC United, is the turnover, man. The turnover has been crazy in Orlando City. I think we still suffer out of the turnover. Like, for example, one example is on the first goal, right? Mendes loses possession. DC goes in transition attack down on the right flank where it's Kyle Smith right there, line of three in the back. So the positioning was just terrible at that point, and then boom, goal, Funtas, Taxi Funtas. A guy named Taxi scored on you a hat trick. Taxi, my friends. All right. Then, you know, it's just that to me, that's the issue. The losing the possession. You can have as many sixes as you want. You can have Cesar Araujo, you can have Junior Urso, you can have Mauricio Pereira, you can have as many midfielders as you want, dynamic, no dynamic. But if you lose the ball and you have a good team that goes in transition attack, and if your defense is not up to par, they will punish you. And that's exactly what happened. So we need to, I think one of the key things that I would say moving forward is stop the turnover. You stop the turnover, Orlando goes in transition attack, and they need to connect. And they have done it in the past. It's just that, they were decimated. They were completely decimated because we kept turning over the ball and they kept attacking in transition. Go ahead, Dave.
Well, one of the things that for the people that follow my blog on YouTube, I try to record things throughout the game that I think are interesting. At the end of the day, I make the executive decision of putting the footage that I think the viewers are gonna enjoy and they're gonna find interesting. For Nashville, I only put the goal by Rodrigo Schlegel and the penalty round. Why? Because the rest of the game forgettable. For DC, nothing but highlights from the second half because, quite honestly, we were atrocious in the first half. This is the play-by-play on how these goals happen. 5th minute, 8th minute, DC goals, open play. They just punished us, just like Luis was talking about. They just, basically got through, boom. And there was nothing that Pedro Galese could have done. He was out on an island. The third goal on the 51st minute, a set piece. My opinion, told you guys before we started recording, how many times do you see somebody laying on the ground to allow the wall to jump and prevent them from sticking the ball under the wall? We didn't do that this time. Boom, goal. Then after that, Facundo Torres comes in 9 minutes. This is what a man that we paid $11 million for. Shout out to Jorge Torres, his dad. I spoke with him for about 30 minutes. We'll talk about that later. 57th minute, Torres open play, golazo. In the 66th minute, Torres assists to Cara from a set piece. And my friends, we got a game in our hands. Then after that, unfortunately, in the 74th minute, we surrender a goal in open play to DC. Then the PK on the 78th minute, earned by Benjamin Michel, Pato converts, just like Luis was talking about. And at this point, we have a game. We're a goal away. Put all the meat on the grill. We go all attack, all forward. And right before the game is over, a defensive error by Araujo, and unfortunately we lost. And to be quite honest, doesn't matter. No, we were already losing by a goal. Could we have done something with it? Who knows? Friends, it's water under the bridge. It's over. This is my focus right now. What's happening right now as we are heading to Miami? We hear that Miami signed somebody. Okay, great. That's Pozuelo. Beautiful. That's fantastic. I only care about what my team is going to be doing. Friends, right now, and these are the positions. 5th place, 6th place, 7th place, Cincinnati, Orlando, New England, all tied at 25. And the reason why these 3 teams are in those positions are because of the goal differential. Thank you, Luis. 8th place, Charlotte with 23 points. 9th place, Miami with 22 points. 10th place, Columbus with 22 points. Who are they facing this Saturday, these teams? Well, Cincinnati is facing Red Bulls, who's first in the East. Tall order for Cincinnati, but Cincinnati has shown that they can be giant killers this year. So we'll see what happens.
That's right.
Orlando is going to be facing Miami. Orlando is the only team out of this group that has their destiny in their hands because they're obviously going against a team that it's in the fray, right? In this battle for this elusive lower end playoff spots. So they're going to be facing Miami, who's 9th right now. New England is going to be facing New York City, who's 4th and on fire. So it's going to be a battle where I feel that New York City is the favorite. So we'll see what happens. Charlotte is going to be playing Nashville. Nashville, in this podcast, you have never heard me say that they're a bad team. They're a fantastic team. And again, if you're a Nashville fan, you should be mad at Gary Smith for the decisions that he made because he had us
Yeah,
against the
Nashville's
wall.
a great team.
Absolutely. But that six in the West. So I am a Nashville fan this Saturday. They need to beat Charlotte because you know what? Those 3 points don't affect our race to the playoffs. Miami, obviously, playing Orlando who's six. Uh, you don't have to ask me who I want to win in that game.
Of
Unless,
course.
of course, unless Columbus is going to be playing Chicago, who's 14th. Miracles do happen. Let's pray that that Chris Mueller can reach for his 2018 Orlando City glory, and they can win that game. Because this is the worst case scenario, my friends. If all these teams win and we lose, we're gonna go from sixth place to 10th, just like you heard. In by this Saturday, completely out of playoff contention and 3 spots below the last spot in the playoffs. Can we come back? That's the question. I don't know. Best scenario will be for Orlando City to win, for Cincinnati, New England, and Charlotte to lose. That will basically create a plug below us and keep us comfortable as we sail through a very, very incredibly hard month. And last, and with this, we'll go to Paola. Neutral, meaning that these results go our way and we stayed where we are, which is six. And that will have to be a tie with Miami, Cincinnati, and Charlotte losing. That's it, my friends. I know I heard some friends on Twitter saying that it's problematic that, and I include myself in that group, that felt, hey, we are in playoff contention. It's all gravy. But we have seen here that if we don't take care of our house, we're playing at home against Miami. If we don't take care of our home and all these other teams manage to get points, friends, we're going to find ourselves below the red line for the first time in the Oscar Pareja tenure and fighting back. Quite possibly, it's going to be very difficult. So that's basically what, excuse me, what we have in store. Paola, if you have anything to add to this.
No, we just have to win. You just describe worst case scenarios. Look at the Irish if they lose and we just stay in our position, but we need to win. It's a die or advance at this point. July, we spoke about it last week. July is the worst month after that international break that we had in June. And I think we lost it yesterday. Water under the bridge, like David said. We just need to jump in on Saturday and have that winning mentality. If we already beat Nashville, we just have to keep that momentum up. I don't know what happened yesterday. They were just, like I said, victory hangover. And that's it. Like find
Paola,
that
if I
goal
can
in the
interrupt you for a
attacking.
second.
Yeah, for sure.
Nashville. DC played their last game June 25th against Nashville, which they lost. And we played our game on Wednesday, 120 minutes, and then we have this game. So they have fresher legs. Some people say, hey, it's an excuse. You shouldn't. They're professionals, blah, 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 whatever. I think it's a factor that we cannot ignore. But I just wanted to add that to what you were saying.
No, there's more factors too, the heat, the humidity, but it is what it is. We lost. We should have won. Um, I think Ruan was playing injured, so I've been saying this since forever. We need another source for that defensive, like left back or right back, either or, because right now we're suffering. We're suffering there, and Ruan passes, crosses. They have been not consistent like before. I don't know what's happening, so we need to look into that, look into the attacking. Like we have said before, Kara is not that player, that creative striker. So we just need to win on Saturday. Let's see how the
I
boys
mean,
like recoup.
you saw how Kara scored off a set piece. Like,
Hmm.
that's the reason why he's there. He's a number 9. He's a pivot. He's there to score goals that way. He's not gonna go and be a second striker and generate a play to score. He doesn't have. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have the quality. He does have the quality. He scored 14 goals in the Austrian Superliga. I'm not saying that, but you know, we need to feed him.
Yep.
We need to feed him, and if we don't feed him, then we have no attack. So if we're gonna go ahead and you know if Orlando wants to battle hand in hand both tournaments with the team they currently have right now, either they find the set play as a weapon and they start doing set pieces like for hours, no end, and finding connections, or you get another striker that's gonna boost whoever is going to be there and give a little bit of more options, or a second striker that's going to generate a play, like a more dynamic striker, or a striker that has more experience than the youth that you have right there at top. And again, there's an open transfer window, and Orlando will be able to go ahead and bid for whoever striker they want, or whatever player they need. I think we do need a right back and a left back, in my opinion. I think we already have a left winger with Gaston Gonzalez. We need to see options up front too. And also, we need to find a suitable replacement for Mauricio Pereira in a way, because if Mauricio needs time to heal and recover, we need to have him ready, especially if there's going to be a final of US Open Cup. What's the point of beating the Red Bulls so our A team doesn't get to play the final? There's really no point, right? To go into the final of the U.S. Open Cup with, just with our B team. I don't think that's fair, and I would like to see other players step up to that number 10 role. I think one player that can definitely do that, and we saw him in DC, was Facundo Torres. I think he could definitely play the 10, but we don't have anybody that dynamic up top. So they need somebody right there too. So it's a give and take. Let's read some comments here from people. Thank you so much to everybody that's online right now. Mark Rodriguez says, "Saludos mi gente, un saludo." Colin Garby, that's 14 crosses all season, not just in these games. That's completely true. I mean, our set piece ratio is, we have the players, and I feel like they do the extra play and no one shoots. It's pass it back.
It is a hot potato game in
Right.
the box.
You pass it back, and you wait, and you pass it back again. Somebody needs to have the deciding factor right there to shoot. That's what happened with Facundo Torres right there. Deciding factor, shoot, goal, right? Colin Garby, we have a severe issue with our fullback play between Moutinho and Ruan. We have only 14 successful crosses from them. Facu has 15 by himself. We can do that with a DP like Kara. That's exactly correct. I couldn't agree any more with that statement. I think we need to definitely take a look into this. That's what I'm saying, guys. I mean, this is not. I mean, I'm just realistic, and I'm from Orlando, and I love this city. I'll be honest with you, and I want Orlando City to be cemented in history, to deliver the first trophy for the city of Orlando, a major team, right? A major team, a big trophy for the city of Orlando, and be
Because we
able
can't
to
forget the Solar Bears won a trophy in 2001, but again, it's third division hockey. And
hockey.
in USL, all these trophies always been Magic are the only ones that can claim
Eastern
division trophy.
Conference.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's. I mean, these players, and they deserve it. Andres Perea, Junior Urso. I mean, Rodrigo Schlegel, they deserve. I mean, this is. I know that players pave their own way, but they deserve everything they've given to the club. Oscar Pareja, their staff, Jose Baena, all those guys deserve. I will even say communications for all the hard work they do too. I mean, the whole organization deserves to give the city, they will, a winning team, and giving them first major trophy will be a life changing event, a turning point for this club, in my opinion. And if it's at the cost of not going to playoffs, my friend, let LFG, man. I mean, I'm saying it right now. I haven't seen, LFG. Let's do it. Like, honestly, this is just my position. LFG, because I think the city definitely deserves this, and I understand that the players want to do both, and I don't doubt it. I don't doubt Pareja. I think Pareja has been one of the best coaches I've seen, in the MLS. I think he's one of the top coaches in the MLS, in my opinion. He can definitely have the under 20 U.S. soccer team. He can coach, no problem. I believe that Pareja is better than Berhalter. I mean, honestly, but guys, I mean, it's all about results too at some point, right?
And Luis, on Wednesday, I'm privy to some information that one of our players had a swollen ankle, and he was told, "Hey, I'm gonna pull you back, I'm gonna pull you out, so to basically give you some rest." And that player said, "No, I want to win this. I want to win this." And he went on, and he won the game. I'm not gonna say who it is. If you are a smart person, you can figure things out yourself. And before we go to this thing with Joao, I have to say, listen, my friends, I unify myself to Luis' sentiments. Um, we gotta win a trophy. We gotta lift silverware. We have to. We have to. We can't continue to get to semifinals and let somebody else beat us and then go on to lift the trophy, because that's what's gonna happen if Red Bull beat us. Who do you think is waiting on the other side? 12th place Sporting Kansas City, USL Sacramento. I'm sorry. The true final to me is against Red Bulls here, because if we win that one, and those guys have to come from the West Coast, and God forbid is is Sacramento. At that point, start putting the champagne on ice. Friends, we had an opportunity. We can let it go. Just like when I spoke with Jorge Torres, because he asked me, listen, I'm going to tell you, he told me that Facundo wants to win that championship.
Of course.
That he wants to win. He wants to come here and go back to Uruguay, go back to the press in Uruguay and say, hey, look at me. I just arrived here, and not even a year has gone by. I'm already lifting silverware. He wants that. He told me. I can tell you that. He told me his son has said that. And lastly, I told him also, this is fantastic, because you know what? It's $300,000 spot on the CONCACAF. These are guys from CONMEBOL, so they have never experienced the northern half of the continent's football. He wants that. Let's give it to them. We have to go support. And just like, and with this, I give the microphone to Luis. And just like the Luis was saying, Rodrigo said it. The fact of the matter, I heard the original audio in Spanish. He says we have to make it uncomfortable here when the visitor comes in. We have to make it a pressure cooker. That's what it is. You are the visitor. It shouldn't be easy. That's why winning away, it's such a big deal, because everything goes against you. The travel, the weather that you're not used to, the adversity. Let's show up against Red Bulls, my friends.
Paola, you wanted to add anything regarding that?
No. Unfortunately, I don't know if you saw it, Luis, but Mauricio was injured yesterday at the end of the game. So I'm curious of who's gonna play number 10th on Saturday, and then hopefully we can have them by
I
the
have
game
an
of
update
Red
on
Bull.
that, Paola.
Oh, there you go. Thank you, David,
Sure.
for saving us.
So go ahead, Luis.
So you want to talk about the injury, or you want to talk about Moutinho?
Just real quick, this is just an update on something that
Sure.
this is information from our friend Austin David. The official word on Mauricio Pereira's hamstring, per Orlando City Communications spokesperson, is there's no concrete update. Well, he'll be evaluated further today, so chances are in the morning we're probably gonna hear word about it. He left walking under his own power with discomfort. To be honest with you, I feel that if he's ready to play on Saturday, it's because somebody is laying hands on this man and praying. Because you got to remember the reason why he did not go to FC Cincinnati was because he had, excuse me, he had discomfort on his hamstring. He played 120 minutes. He played Saturday, and so that's basically where we at.
I think we need to save him for Red Bulls. That's just my opinion. Because if it's a tear, it's done for the season. So, and without a number 10, without having a suitable replacement, it was going to be tough. That means that Facundo will have to step up to be a number 10, which I have no doubt that he can do. I have no doubt. He's played in Peñarol many times. But who's going to be our winger, our left winger? You see, so it's going to be Benji. It's going to be Tesho, because Tesho's starting as a right winger now. So
Mulroney?
Mulroney. I mean, Mulroney kind of played the US Open Cup. So that's what I'm saying. So we need
Yeah,
to
that's right.
definitely, yeah. I mean that's what I'm saying. I mean, these are the U.S. Open Cup for us is a major opportunity. We need to definitely not jeopardize that whatsoever. I mean, the MLS right now, in my opinion, if you ask me, my personal opinion, it's second fiddle right now. I mean, that's just me, because I know for a fact next season more signings will come in, right, with a trophy, right. And we're going to have Gaston Gonzalez, which is a top prospect in South America, just like Facundo is, on the left wing. And he's not going to have nobody that matches him, because his work ethic, the type of level of player he is. I mean, he would show everybody. He would show up. He will be a determining attacking factor to go in transition on that left wing. So, I'm not too worried about right now the MLS. I'm worried about U.S. Open Cup. That's just my viewpoint. But let's go into read some comments here. Victor Rivera, got to be careful. We thought we were going to beat last place DC, and look at the result.
And
Right.
Victor, one thing I have to add to that, my friend, is that Open Cup is a different beast because we can take it to extra time, we can take it to penalties, something that is an option that we do not have during the season, during the regular season. So I have said, and I'll say it again, that most to defeat Red Bulls, we're probably gonna have to go the 120 minutes. So again, don't leave early.
Sure. And then, we have here a tweet from Zach Lowy, right? I also have one in like French, I think, too, that they sent out. Let me see if I can find it. But either way, João Moutinho is the number one pick of the 2018 MLS Super Draft. Is in talk to join Toulouse in League One. Has been offered a contract. Moutinho spent 9 years in Sporting Club Lisboa Academy before moving to the U.S. in 2017. He's looking to return to Europe. Personally, we need to have a plan B if we're going to let him go. I mean, that's the most. Now, you got Mikey Holiday, you got Kyle Smith, you
Mikey
have
Holiday, who just won a U20 championship in CONCACAF. Let's remember that.
right. We have Mikey Holiday, we have Kyle Smith, we have Alex Freeman, right? Now, are we gonna have somebody in the transfer window coming in? Is it gonna be an MLS player? Is it gonna be another player that maybe we know? Yoshi Yotun could play that role too. I mean, he's a free agent right now. Is he gonna be? Is he gonna be a DP? Is he gonna be somebody from the league? So those are the things that we need to definitely take into consideration, because teams are already making moves. Inter Miami just signed Pozuelo, which I think is going to change their dynamic. I mean, look, you have Mota and Pozuelo right now in the mid. I mean, this is going to be such dynamic player, like mid.
And
Like
friends, we haven't mentioned that Sylvester van der Water has been released by the team, has been sent back to the Netherlands. We got a nice return, 800K, but we lost money in the deal. We actually have paid 1.2 for him, so a little downgrade. But this, I heard from people that cover the team, friends that shared this with me. That, as a matter of fact, Austin David, I should give him credit. The fact is that Sylvester has not recovered from his injury. What happened in the game against FC Cincinnati, I believe it was, or LA Galaxy, one of those two games.
Red
He got
Bulls.
Red Bulls. Thank you. It was a fracture that broken bone penetrated his muscle and did muscle damage. So it's gonna take time to heal. His new club are perfectly happy having him and rehabbing. We don't have that luxury, and all the best to Sylvester. We will always have that night against Atlanta here at home. I think a young man with a fantastic story. Unfortunately, did not work out. He has a young family, so I really wish him the best. But the fact of the matter with Joao Moutinho, a guy with another fantastic story. This guy left uh, Portugal Sporting to go to the University of Akron, I believe it is. I know it's in Ohio. I think it's Akron. And then after that, he was drafted first by LAFC. And the greatest moment in purple for this young man was against LAFC in MLS's back, where he basically got the equalizer from his childhood hero. One of the things that a lot of people don't know is he is from Sporting. He's from Lisbon, just like Nani. He grew up with Nani's poster in his room. If you ask him, he'll tell you a story. When those two men hug each other, and in the highlights, if you see that, these are two guys from back home. Two guys from back home. Imagine if you like basketball. Imagine getting a pass from Michael Jordan and scoring. This is the same level of the same level of my apologies for the background noise. The same level of excitement, and in my
Right.
opinion, one of the things with Joao, he wants to go back to Europe. We don't need another situation like the one with Chris Mueller. He wants to go. God bless him. I trust Luis Musi and Ricardo Moreira, who are more than capable individuals. Obviously, this is not like, oh, we're gonna let him go and nothing. This, I believe, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Luis. This frees an international spot. I don't think he had a green card. And then we also had the freedom of another international spot with Sylvester Van der Water.
We would have two available.
Okay, two available. So, my friends, who's stopping us from going overseas and getting a talented individual? Nobody. So, and you gotta remember to the Wolves, money is not an issue. And Luis and my friends, you forgive me if I get too excited. I'm Puerto Rican. I can help it. This is the Latin heat, I guess. Just had my son playing Fortnite, screaming after I told him not to. It's the fact of the matter. I think, my friends, is that a lot of us have PTSD because with Flavio we had to continuously shop in the bargain bin of players somewhere in the world. I mean, for crying out loud, we went to Libya to get Mohamed Al Munir. Who would have thought? So people think that, oh, we're just gonna go get some guy or some bench warmer from MLS. No, listen, we have the money to go make noise. We have it. Listen, I have spent time like Googling, going through the back roads, talking to people that I know that monitor the world market. Nobody has said anything about Orlando City. So that can translate to two things. One, yeah, we're not making any moves, which makes no sense. Or two, we are going to make a splash. We're going to make a splash. Ricardo Moreira is one individual that you have noticed he hasn't been in Orlando. He hasn't been in Orlando in a while. He has not been at the games. He has not been shown in any piece of video or anything that content from the club. His social media has been quiet. When was the last time we saw that? When he signed Facundo Torres. Friends, we don't know. Like I said,
I
I
mean,
trust that my club is going to make the decision,
well, I mean, I'm gonna give the mic to Paola. Paola, what are your thoughts of potentially Joao Moutinho soaring out to League One in France?
I agree with Luis. Like, if we're gonna let him go, we should have a plan B. I don't mind. Moutinho is being great. He's a injury prone, unfortunately. When he gets a injury, he will go for months, unfortunately, like last year or the year prior. I don't remember. I think it was last year that he had surgery, then he couldn't came back, and then at the end of the season, he came back. So if he wants to go back, let him go back. But we should have a plan B because he's the only one liable right now on the pitch in the left back and right back. Um, because Ruan has not been consistent. The only one there is Carl Smith, and he didn't had a good game yesterday, but it's fine. It's just one game. But let's see what happens if he wants to go. C'est la vie. Good luck. Thank you for everything. We should have a plan B.
Look, I'll be honest. Toulouse is a small team in France. I mean, they have a lot of history, but they're a small team in France. I don't think they'll make that much noise. Again, it's all about the determination and how much work the player puts in. Can he make a splash in the French side, in the French league? For sure. Does he have the character, the willingness, the drive to make it in Europe? Wholeheartedly, I say yes. Now, depends a lot on the player and the situations that happen, right? If he gets injured in Toulouse, we will have another. If he gets injured in League One, it will be another Chris Mueller situation, which he will come back to the MLS and more than likely will sign for a different team. Now, do I want to see that? No. Do I wish him the best if he decides to leave Orlando? Yes. What I would do personally is I would ask him if he does want to part ways to stay till the end of US Open Cup contention. If we win it, he can leave with a championship and carve in history of the club, which I think he deserves. I think he deserves that. He's a player that, I mean, he's been nothing but work ethic, great player, fantastic player in the locker room too, with all his peers, a role model with a lot of the youth players. So for being so young too, right? A lot of character, and I think he deserves that. No, I'm no one to ask that, but I think that's what I would do if I was Moutinho. I would say, yeah, I'll sign my pre-contract now, and I'm gonna leave after US Open Cup, after we win the US Open Cup. And I'm going to play all these games coming up, give my 120% and do the best of my ability because that's my signature.
And Joao is that type of individual. He has that type of character and integrity. Like I said, I can't attack the man. He has played, he has bled purple. And if his desire is to go to Europe, by all means. His family's in Portugal. This is a kid that came to the United States to play college ball, hoping for the best. And if he feels that it's time to go back, who are we to stop him from chasing his dreams? Now, if Ricardo Moreira is listening or watching, as he certainly does often, Mohamed Abu Fani, Maccabi Haifa in Israel, is available. He's a striker. He's cheap. And Ricardo, I'm just letting you know. That we can go and get this guy. I don't know. Like, listen, I at this point, let me tell you something. I know, like I said, I after years of monitoring Ricardo's moves, I know when something is in the pot because he disappears. Ricardo's the type of guy that's always posting videos of his kids. His kid actually, because I believe his youngest is a baby still. Posting videos of his kids and goofing off and all that. But when a man is working on something, he disappears. I still believe. I was looking at Twitter, and it's heartbreaking, my friends. It's heartbreaking to see how our fan base says, "Oh, we lack ambition. We're not gonna do anything." Listen, we don't know what's gonna happen, and people are already giving up. We can have that attitude, my friends. These are the type of people, friends, that on Wednesday decided to leave early, and then when things happen, all of a sudden they're banging at the door. Let me in.
So
And you
these
know why I
people,
know this? You know why I know? I'm sorry. To finish this. And you know why I know? Because our friends from OC Fan TV, they had to leave 10 minutes early to set up their camera and all that, and they told me that it looked like it was like a scene of The Walking Dead. People trying to get into safety. My friends, we can't do that. Either we believe that our team can do things, or we don't. If you don't, stay home. That's perfectly fine. But for us that still believe, for us that believe in this club, hey, we're gonna go and we're gonna hope for the best, because that's the dream of every supporter. That today is gonna be our day.
and again, you got comments like this on Facebook that are just like, you don't understand, right? Insult to injury, fucking nonsense after they took away a goal and the goalie acted hurt for 5 minutes. Play a commercial and then five more. They take two. Nobody was tired or needed water. It's like, how do you know they didn't need water? Like, I mean, I'm sorry, but I want to see this guy playing ball. I mean, then you have, stuff like this, this team looks, what is it? What did they say? This team looks like they watch Messi highlights all day. Then remember by the 85th minute, they aren't that good. They just start chipping balls forward. At what point do we admit, as much as Pareja was an upgrade, he's no longer a cup winning coach? It's either him or we just have to be very lackluster, or it's just him or we have very lackluster players. And I'm not sure I believe that. Every single week, the passing is so poor. You know, um, clearly these are people that have not been since the beginning. Now, I'm not knocking them off. Yes, it was a terrible game for Orlando City. I think the backline had a horrible game, but I mean, just saying, I mean, words have a meaning, right? You have to be smart on what you put online too. You can just, you have to analyze football, in my opinion. You have to be fan of the brand of what Orlando stands for, and in my opinion, not about the result. I think this gentleman is seeing it the wrong way. Um, Pareja can leave Orlando and coach the national team, and then what is Sean
And then
St.
what?
John going? And then Sean St. John, what is he gonna do?
And listen, this type of comment. Listen, no disrespect to the gentleman. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I personally, and I have said this before, we can disagree on opinions. I'm still your friend. I have used the example. I've been married to my wife 16 years, and we don't agree on anything. If the woman that gave birth to my children and that I love with all my energy, all my heart, we're gonna have disagreements. What makes you different? What makes you special? Friends, the if this gentleman that is making those comments definitely has not seen the debacle in Atlanta, has not seen what's going on in Toronto. Yes, they make some signings, but we don't know if they're gonna pan out. There's a lot of teams. Seattle is at risk of not making playoffs for the first time in their history. Things do happen. Things do happen. So like
Right.
that's why I say football is cruel and unpredictable.
Right. I mean, and I understand, we see Europe and we see teams like Real Madrid and Bayern and Chelsea and Liverpool and Manchester City. And we see those teams and we see those coaches. We cannot compare that level of football to MLS. First and foremost, Juan Rodriguez, he puts. I think our problem is we have 6 or 7 forwards that can create plays and pass good, but neither of them are the goal scoring players we need. Okay, none of them have that striker hunger to grab the ball and put it behind the net. Okay, like everyone is. Okay, I think he listens to a lot of Duran Duran. I like Kara. He's good to have, but Tesho and Pato gotta go. Araujo is good, but he's an emotion wreck with a W, and makes simple mistakes. Smith is not a good option for fullback or center back. Lacks defensive pressure. He can pass. He can pass great from the back, but can't do his position properly. Schlegel has no vision. He just scored in Nashville. If he wouldn't have vision, how the hell he has no vision? How the hell did he score if he has no vision, no positioning? Mr. What's his name? Juan Rodriguez. ¿Cómo no va a tener posicionamiento si ha metido gol? Ha estado posicionando de la mejor manera. Por favor, sea más consciente de lo que usted dice. He says, has multiple openings for easy, great passes, but decides he can't do a pass. Look, I'm tired of this team. So this is the type of, in my opinion, this is why we cannot have a soccer culture. I mean, I'm sorry to expose it, but it's the truth. is the truth, wholehearted truth. I want to see Juan Rodriguez play fullback. I want to see Juan Rodriguez be a striker, score 10 goals in a season, right? Everybody's entitled to their opinions, yes. But you have to honestly understand where are you at, right? Where are you at? You are in the MLS, right? You're not in, you're not in Bayern. You're not in Chelsea. You're in the MLS, my friend. And I think this is so tough to swallow. I think some of the things that people say, like it's just despicable, man. I don't know, what are your thoughts about that, Dave? I mean, it's crazy.
I gotta keep it short so I can give the opportunity to Paola since we are reaching the final 100-meter dash in our podcast. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. How I said things in anger to friends, to family, to my wife, to my kids. Yeah, of course, it's disappointing. I'm gonna tell you how my sons saw the game on last night. My sons, who are two-time champions, U8 and U9. I never played football. I never had the opportunity because, unfortunately, for us Gen Xers, football was a sport for the upper middle class. My two-time champion sons, who have played the game, who have an understanding of the game, they had a great time. And as a parent, I know Luis has a daughter, but she's still little. I'm gonna tell you, when you have teenagers, when you get to that stage where you see that your son's no longer little, they are getting to your height, you can have mature conversations with them, and they start finally not just goofing all around or playing with their tablet, but watching the game and giving you the commentary of what happens on the pitch. They love the Orlando City. You know why? Because the Orlando City is their hometown team,
Of
and
course.
they had a great time. And I see it. I want to see it from their eyes. Us adults, Rome is on fire, but the kids, the teenagers, and if you don't believe me, again, I always use the example because our friends at OC Fan TV are the only ones collecting impressions after the games, live, raw. And you see the kids when they go to the microphone, and they're very honest. Kids will always give you honest answers. Kids will never dance around. The kids go have a good time. They love, win or lose. They have a good time because they truly have a love for the game. Now, my friends, we have to understand that not every year is a championship year. I get it. We have a problem with our club where we were mismanaged for years, where we were doing things the cheap way. Let's allow the Wolves to do what happens. And we ran out of time to talk about Pride, which is another beast that a lot of people are. I'm embarrassed to see that Jared Dillon again had to go on Twitter, third time he has to do it, to tell people the rumors that we're selling the team, that we're imploding the team,
Oh,
that we're
no,
moving the
no,
team.
that's not happening.
Are not happening. Are not
Yeah,
happening.
I
And that,
mean,
my friends, it's embarrassing. It's
like,
embarrassing. And I conclude with this. Let's have the belief that things are gonna be different. Let's start believing that. I'm gonna share a personal anecdote. You guys know that I'm an open book. I have a failed first marriage. Things happen. I'm not gonna always go into details, but things happen. I found myself broke. Any man that has been to the worst knows that. Broke in the street, sleeping on my cousin's couch, and having to restart. But did that make me angry? Oh, I will never get married. I will never trust a woman again. No, I got on the horse. I met a wonderful woman. Paola has met my wife, and the last 16 years have been the best 16 years of my life. Friends, just because a bad situation happens, it doesn't mean that it's going to happen over and over and over. If you personally are doing bad things that obviously get you back to the same end result, obviously that's a different story. But let's believe that this is going to be different, and that's what I said, Luis. Let's believe these comments when we are basically declaring with our mouths, we're speaking into existence, that we're gonna be losing, destroys me, because we are not putting our trust into the 18 men that suit up on game day and step on that pitch.
I mean, these are, and I give the mic to Paula. These are people that have daughters, sons, wives. They go to church. They don't go to church. I mean, depends on whatever floats their boat. They're normal people. No soccer player in the world goes to a game to lose. And what I'm tired of seeing is, if we're trying to build soccer culture, I have to expose this as a journalist, because it takes back from the soccer culture we're trying to build. Because we can have temper tantrums like this online. What a load of crap. How is this class as professional level? These players can cross, control, pass, defend, or shoot. I want to see Mr. Sean Otwood on a purple jersey trying to go on 1v1 against Roberto Carlos, or another left back, Marcelo from Real Madrid. I want him to go 1v1. Oh, no, no, no. Alex Freeman. I want to go against Alex Freeman and see. Go watch your local high school soccer teams to see better than that. So why did you see? This is what I'm trying to say. Is like, are we trying to really work into a soccer culture with fans that are going to be destructive like this? You know, um, yes, it's the internet. And then the next game, Orlando, let's say, beats the Red Bulls, goes to the final. What is Sean Atwood going to do? Oh, great game, Kyle. Sign my jersey, Kyle. Huh? Hey, buddy. No, take a picture with my kid. No, you know what I'm saying? Right. So come on, man. We got to be a little bit more responsible. We're trying to be a soccer culture, right? Let's be a soccer culture. Let's support the club of what it stands and what it is for. This is the city of Orlando. The city of Orlando. Not the city of the result. Right? Are we Miami? Are we NYCFC? Are we Atlanta? Right. We're Orlando, right? We were USL champs, right? Successful club in USL, right? Brought a lot of joy into a lot of people's faces. Transitioned into an MLS. We were not bought. We didn't come into the league paying thousands of millions of dollars of the huge market. We're Orlando City. That's what makes us. You know, I'm talking as an Orlando, I consider myself an Orlando person. I am an Orlando person. So I went to Olympia High School. I went to Dr. Phillips. I graduated. I graduated in UCF. You know, before Bento Box was there, the Japanese restaurant. I was right there when Bortles was a quarterback. I was fucking there. Sorry to say that, but that is the truth. No one can take Orlando away from me. And so I can't understand how are people so passive aggressive regarding this. It is frustrating. We're entitled to be upset. The players know it, and they're going to demonstrate it now in the next game. So what are your thoughts regarding that, Paola, right? Because you live in Orlando too for a long time. I mean, we're trying to build a soccer culture. How are we going to build it if we have nonsense like this happening on the internet?
Listen, from Wednesday to yesterday, it was a night and day kind of situation. I get it. We were not performing yesterday. Fine. Let's move on. But let's be realistic. Like, whatever you put in the social media, like, it will stay in social media, right? Um we just have to trust in Jared Dillon. He's trying his hardest. I don't want to be in his shoes right now. Like, kudos for him. Like, if people want change, they need to be part of the change with him, right? It's like going into work. You don't have every single day like peaches and cream all the time. You have rough days, you have stress days. Same for them. The players are working, that's their job. They had a horrible performance yesterday. They're probably recouping. Probably Oscar Pareja is not sleeping at home looking at a recording. We don't know what is going on in the back end, and we need to be human in that sense. To keep it short, I'm with David. Probably Ricardo is working in silence, because it's better work in silence than making noise. he's probably looking for the best for the club with Luis Musi right now, because I know that they like Oscar Pareja and they're trying their best to keep him on the house. But it is what it is. In every single sport, if you lose, what happens in football? Next day, boom,
Right.
you lost. Bye. Let's see another coach. Same thing with soccer. So if you wanna see a change in the culture of Orlando City, you have to be part of it. You have to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. And I will
Yeah,
end it like that.
definitely. I'm gonna read some comments here. Nijay Thompson can't handle losing to the Pink Bastards. Nijay Thompson, I'm going to the Turnpike Derby. Yes, that's what I'm calling it. So I need to Orlando to win for sure. We got to win that game for sure. Colin Garvey, thank you so much. It says there might be an opportunity to find a nice loan from a Euro team. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that'll be a great. I think that'll be great. I mean, championship players are fantastic. I mean, we need experience. We need people like that can rub elbows with Pato, in my opinion, right now. At least for 6, 7 months at the most. Jaime Chandia says if we have the GAM or TAM, we need to at least kick the tires on Chico if he really is on the trade block from LAFC. Would give us flexibility in terms of formation. He's a proven
I
MLS
like that.
goal scorer.
That's
I like
yep,
that.
I like it
I
too.
think that's a great opportunity. Jim D, we're on the Red Bulls dream team. We are the Red Bulls dream team. We turn the ball over in the midfield with no pressure. With pressure, we literally pass the ball straight to the opposition. That's what happened against DC. That's what we need to change. We can't do that against a team that we have never been able to beat.
And Jim, we're
Um,
not saying that we are magically fixing our issues. All I'm saying is we're gonna find a way to win. Busca la forma, which is find the shape. That's Oscar Pareja's mantra.
Yeah, definitely. And then we have also Victor Rivera. We have to be careful. I know Colin Garvey. I feel that we held Joao. We held on Joao through his injuries, mostly because of the favorable contract he was on. I think it's time for him to move on, but the club needs to act fast. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, we have great prospects, but so if we get knocked out of the U.S. Open Cup, we need to concentrate to make playoffs, right? And the climb is tough, right? The climb is tough. So, are we going to do that with Kyle, with Alex Freeman, with Taylor Williams? I mean, they're superb players. Don't get me wrong. They're cornerstones of our academy for sure. I have full trust in them. But I mean, or can we get just one player that's going to be right there, motivating, right, pushing, right, being a leadership figure alongside Antonio Carlos, that he's probably going to be back by then. So I believe that they should do that. Victor Rivera, gotta be careful. We thought we were going to beat last place DC, and look at the
You're
result.
right then.
Yeah, let's go ahead and dive in real quick to the Pride. They're playing in Daytona. They ended a 3-game losing streak. They came back from a 2-goal deficit. My hats off for this team, for also Orlando City legend, right? That it's coaching this team at the moment. So Seb Hines, right? And you have Strom with a great goal. I think it was a golazo. And then also Darian Jenkins cutting the 2-2 draw in Daytona. I want to give a shout out to the Black Swans that were there, that they drove all the way to Daytona for that. Unfortunately, the place for me was like 4 hours away from where I live. So I wasn't able to make it because gas prices are ridiculous right now. I'm completely honest, but definitely it was a game that I was very happy to see. I saw it with my daughter, I will say. My daughter is really now getting into that whole, she wants to be a beautiful soccer player, she says, right? So she sees the young Pride players and like, oh my God, like look at their ponytail and all that stuff. My daughter's into Barbies and all that crazy stuff. So you should see my house. And anyway, she loves it. So I mean, it was a great game. Great showing of resilience of the players, of Seb Hines as well. And let's just hope that this team, Kerry Abello played fantastic on the left wing, in my opinion. She was the X factor for me. And this team has a lot of future. So let's hang tight on this. The front office is working diligently on signing new players. And there's one exciting player that's coming for the Orlando Pride that comes from the Italian Serie A.
She's from
Uh,
Malta.
and she's from Malta. That's right. She's 18 years old. She's international forward Haley Bujega. She's going to sign for a year. She used to play in Sassuolo, which is a team in Serie A over there in Italy. And she's a very dynamic player. She was the best young player in Serie A for the 2020-2021 season. She scored 15 goals in 36 games in Sassuolo before obviously suffering an injury that took her 5 months to recover. She returned to action last October. She's represented her home country 14 times. She played the UEFA European qualifying matches. She made her international debut at 14 years of age. It was the and so she's a young phenom, right? I think Ian Fleming and also Seb Hines have had words with her and have scouted her for a long time, and they're very excited that she joined the team. So what it means for Orlando, I think that after trading Yodi Taylor, Alex Morgan, Taylor Korniak, and Cindy LaRue, this is a breath of fresh air that's just going to boost our attack. Because the attack for the Pride has been depleted, in my opinion. So this player comes in a very exciting time. They're rebuilding, but they are looking to the future, not to name recognition, which is how the leagues are going now. And I think she'll be able to give a lot to the Orlando Pride organization for sure. So I commend the front office for that
No,
wholeheartedly.
absolutely. So, congratulations to the Pride on this great signing. Malta, my friends, for those that don't know, it's three islands just south of Sicily. It's a former British colony. People there, it's a mixture of Italian, North African, very nice people. Every Maltese person that I ever met, super nice, love football. These people love their football. Unfortunately, small country in UEFA, they get hammered, but this girl is super talented. I saw her highlight reel. This
Yeah.
is this for Orlando Pride. This is a lot. This is like getting Alex Morgan when she was a nobody. This, in my opinion, this is the type of signing that we have made. I want to congratulate Seb Hines, former Orlando City player, Giles Barnes, former Orlando City player, who have stepped on into the roles of managing and assistant managing this club. And kudos to Jared Dillon for showing up and mingling with the fans
Oh yeah.
on Sunday. I spoke with several Pride fans that they said that they unexpected and very much appreciated. My friends, again, our president of operations, Jared Dillon, it's a man of the people, and it's a man that everything that he said he was gonna do, he has established. And I have a preview. I know the clock is ticking, and you guys gotta go to bed. I spoke with a source close to the club. At the end of this month, there's plans to have a season ticket member barbecue, so all the season ticket members can have an opportunity to mingle with each other, to get
That's
autographs from
awesome.
the players. It's long, 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 long overdue, and also there's also a possibility, maybe not this month, maybe in August, when the calendar allows it. Um, on a weekend where we're not playing, to have an open house at Exploria, just like we did in 2019. And again, it's going to be open to all the fans, the opportunity to hear from Pareja, to see players, get signatures. Because I think as a fan base, we need to get our little tribe mojo back. We need to get friendly with one another. We don't need to be fighting with one another. I say it all the time to fans.
I'll be there too.
Yeah, yeah, my
So
friend. I said to fans all the time, you might not like me as a person, but you rest assured, just like you, I want Orlando City to do great. And the only place where we break the windows down, the barriers down, we stop doing this and we start talking face to face is by doing this type of events.
okay, let's read some last comments, then we'll go to Paula. Nijay Thompson, if we had players in the correct positions, then we wouldn't have struggled. this won't be favorable, but I actually prefer if we stick to a variation of a 3-5-2, whether it be 3-4-2-1 or 3-4-1-2. The players just didn't execute it properly. Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the way the world is going now with three center backs out back, but you have two very dynamic wingers in order to make that work. It's actually a line, but the two wingers, so the two backs serve as assisting the wing and they go in the attack all the way down. But in order to do that, you need players like very dynamic, right? Like the players from Man City, right? Um, can we get those type of level players? For sure. But we have to work with what we have and what's working, in my opinion, right? Victor Rivera, Musi was at the Nashville game. That's
Yep, he
right.
was.
Mijay Thompson can't handle losing to the Pink Bastards.
You read
Go
that
ahead.
right.
Yeah. So, Paula, last comments before we close on the show.
See you guys on Saturday. If you see me, I'm gonna have loud and proud Orlando stickers.
Oh
I'm not gonna
wow,
offer it to
that's
anybody.
awesome.
Just
I
tap my
gave mine
shoulder.
away to everybody.
I still have
I
a
still have a
couple of
few.
them.
Still have a
And
few.
Yeah,
send me
yep.
some
I
so I can put
forgot
in
that I
my
had
so I
them.
can put in my cup, man.
I forgot that I had them on the Nashville game.
But Luis, in order for you to get a sticker, you have to come down to us, the mortals, the common peoples. You have to
No, no,
calm
no, no.
down. You have to calm
No,
down, my
I'm
friend.
just, I'm just very respectful because if we'll meet before that for sure because
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And real quick, sorry, Paula, you done?
No, no, no.
But-
You can go and then I
No,
can.
no, no. I was just gonna say, last words. Um, on my vlog, the legendary David on YouTube, I have videos for the last two games if you wanna see those. Also, I am on the latest episode of Orlando City Fan TV. My kids will be on the next one. Interesting, because first time I'm proud that to see my kids, expressing themselves about the game. It took me by surprise. Usually they're very, very camera shy. My wife, she said, "You know what? I don't want to be associated with you because I have a job to to protect." And Paula,
wow.
who has met my wife already, she knows.
She's
She knows I'm
awesome.
not.
She's
She knows I'm
awesome.
not making this up.
No.
So with that said, I want to. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Let's be there on Saturday, friends. Let's be there on
This
Saturday.
is Victor Rivera. Great show today. See you Saturday. Wait a minute. I saw you both at the game and didn't get a sticker. Come on.
Let me get you one on Saturday.
Victor, what
I
happened
have
is
one for
you
you.
caught us as we were saying goodbye, and
Yeah,
unfortunately,
and I
yeah,
was
we got
giving
shut up.
him the stickers. That's what
Yeah.
happened. So
Okay,
Yeah,
fair play.
we're gonna give some stickers to Victor for sure. Appreciate to everybody that's been on to the show today. Thank you so much. Check us out on Twitter as at LPO_podcast. We're also on Facebook as Loud and Proud Orlando, and also on YouTube. You can click on the notification bell for more notifications and subscribe to the channel. We are at 403 members right now, 3 subscribers. Let's get to 450, hopefully by the end of the beginning of August. If you guys can just spread the word and have your friends subscribe to the channel if they want some of the best Orlando City news. And, one of we do this with a lot of love for the City Beautiful. So we just want to make sure we provide the best content possible. So just check us out, spread the word. I also want to give a shout out to my brother. I know that he's probably watching this. He's in Peru right now. He's living there at the moment. My brother Juan Diego, his birthday today. So I want to say happy
ooh, happy
birthday, bro.
May you live to
Yeah,
birthday.
120, my friend.
yeah. So we'll see him. I'll see him very soon in November. I'm going over there, going to Peru, visit some people, also meeting the people from my other podcast, La del Fútbol, too. So shout out to them as well. Again, check us out on YouTube at Louder and Proud Orlando. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see you guys next Monday. Right?
Yeah, vamos
Vamos
Orlando.
Orlando. Vamos Orlando. Thank you.